Welcome back. On today's episode, we're going to show you how to create another app using Antigravity by Google. Antigravity is a lot like Cursor. It was just released last month in November. It's pretty much in the beta phase. I like to use Android Studio alongside Antigravity and Cursor. It kind of goes through and it builds the project out for you using Flutter. So right here, I've got Android Studio, and I'm going to say a new Flutter project. Okay, I'm going to choose next, and we got to give it a title. We will do to-do list. And this is the second time I've tried this because it crashed originally. We're just going to do it for the web and iOS and Android. Let's create that directory. Oops, this is important. In Flutter, it is case sensitive. So to-do list has to be lowercase. Okay, let's do a create. Okay, there we go. Now, you'll notice that inside of this, it's got a default. It's got emulators here that we can open. We can open an iOS emulator for the iPhone. We got Android emulators over here, a Pixel 9. We can emulate Google Chrome. Okay. Now let's get started with Antigravity now that we've built the folders out. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go to open folder. We'll go to where you put the new folder. Right here's to-do list. Okay. Now with this interface, it's a lot like Cursor. And I like to program in what's called agent mode, which in this, I've got a MacBook Pro M5. And right there, you do Command E. Okay. And I've got some prompts already written. Write a to-do list app, Android, iOS. Let's see. I put get pretty on the colors and the design. Ask me any questions that you have. We are writing it in Flutter on Android Studio. Okay. I'm going to use Gemini 3 Pro. And I've just got the Google Workspace, just the $16 version here running. I haven't really ran out of space yet on it, so I might go to Ultra if I start running out with this. But what this is doing now is it's going to build what it thinks we want to see. And it's going to come back, probably ask us some questions to answer here. Usually asks you about 5 questions. It's coming up with a task.md file with a roadmap. So it's just going through its planning phase. And previously on that agent, by the way, we selected planning as the default. So the first thing it does is plan. It'll come back and ask you some questions, probably. Normally asks about 5 questions. You confirm or answer those 5 questions, and then you hit proceed and it starts to build. So it looks like everything's going pretty well here. It's going to ask us questions about, do we want the database on the local machine or do we want it up at Firebase by Google? Firebase would be used for like authentication, storing like PDF files, as well as database files such as fields. So in the future, I will be doing some videos with Firebase in it so that I can show you guys how Firebase works. You know, Firebase is great, by the way, how it interfaces with all the Google ecosystem. So some of my favorite things about Firebase is the authentication. You know, you've got a really respected program there written by Google on their authentication. So it'll let you either use Google logins, Microsoft logins, Facebook logins, however you need to log in, it's there. It's kind of doing the security sled for you. And it's still thinking. Let's see. It's found some errors that it's going to work out here before it asks us questions. Okay, here we go. It's starting to build stuff. It looks already. Basically, it's coming up with its own plan. And these are being built right now are Dart files, and that's what Flutter uses. So right here, it's still doing some updates. Maybe it's skipping the question part. I'm not sure. So I hadn't really seen this before where it doesn't ask questions, but I assume it's going to ask questions. But the nice part about the Google Android too is you get the emulators, so we can actually test this once we're done. Now inside your Flutter program in the Android Studio, it always puts a main.dart file. Let me show you that while we're waiting for this. So if you look here in the lib directory, this is always a test main.dart for you. So if you double click on that, that's always a Flutter demo. Don't let that fool you. You'll be looking for an m.dart file in one of the other folders that gets created whenever it does the to-do list. Let's see. And by the way, this is only the second time I've ever used Antigravity, so I'm by no means an expertise. I have no expertise in Antigravity. I'm just winging this. The first time I wrote a calculator in 15 minutes. It was great. Worked out really well. So this time what we're doing is just a basic to-do list where we're just trying to write some basic app just to see how it works. So we're still trying to figure out what it's running in background. Terminal communications, open terminal. So says it found some problems with RiverPod, cleaning Xcode workspace. Now, for those of you watching at home, if any of you want to see more of these videos, let me know what you'd like to see me program next, and I will try my best to program that for you. I've got some ideas for some future videos, so hopefully I can write some heroes journeys type work in the future. Just completely skipped the question part. Maybe I didn't have that on the prompt. Normally I end my prompts with ask me any questions that you might have, and normally it comes back with like 5 questions. So, but right now you can see here on the right side, it tells it what step we're on. We're on to the second to the last step. Looks like it encountered some errors. And so hopefully it's going to get those things there. It's running a Flutter test. So for those of you that haven't tried Flutter, I highly recommend it. I think it's worked great for me. I use it with Cursor, like I said before. Cursor's a great product. It just makes it so much easier to vibe code. I've also used Claude Code. That's fantastic as well. Cursor is just a little easier. It has more of an agent mode style to it. But here we go. It's doing Flutter Analyze. Now, one thing you want to know when you do your Android Studio and you set up your Flutter, you always want to remember on the terminal to run what's called Flutter Doctor, right? Flutter Doctor will basically tell you everything's good with Flutter, or if it'll tell you it's running into a problem, and then you can prompt it and ask it what to do with that problem. So I've already ran Flutter Doctor and everything's fine. So is it thinking? Walkthrough. I've successfully, okay. All right, so it did it. Run with Flutter run. Okay. So it looks like it's ready. So let's go back over here and see what we've got in Android. I'm looking for some folders here. Test web. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now what folder it put it in, but I'm going to run that. I'm going to ask it to run it itself. Okay, so in here, I'm going to say, please run it for me. Actually, I'm going to ask it, where is the main.dart file in the folders located at? Okay, I'm asking it now where the main.dart is where you always kind of tell it. Okay, there's anti-gravity. Why did it put it in that folder? Okay, what folder did you build this in? I'm not sure. Let's see. Build it in Studio Projects Anti-Gravity. Okay. This is the root. Okay, so let's go look at that. So it put it over here. That's kind of strange. I told it to put it in the other project. It put it in an old anti-gravity folder, I believe. But let's go look. Let's close this project out. Let's do file open. It said studio. It said put it in here. Okay, which is an older one. We're going to trust this project. Okay. Right here. Let's take a look at this. We got an old calendar app. This is weird. It says it put it in the lib. It's weird. There's a calculator app that we've previously done. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. There we go. Anti-gravity, what needs to be done? Okay. Test anti-gravity. Okay, I'm not sure why it put it back in this anti-gravity default folder. I told it to use the other one. Okay, here's the due dates. It's pretty good. It's very colorful. I did ask it, do a colorful look. Add subtasks. Did that not save it? Oh, it wants to put a time. That's not working. We'll give it a high priority. Okay, you can take a look there. As you can see, it's putting the time in, but it's not adding. That's blank, so we'd have to go back and tell anti-gravity to fix that. But let's go ahead and create this task. There we go. First one. It's pretty good. Now let's take a look at how it looks on, let's open up another device. Device manager. Let's see if it might be running. Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and start Pixel 9 Pro. This is the nice part about Android Studio, is you can run this. Let's break this out, make that a little bigger. We're going to do debug there. Okay, here are some programs that I've written before. Okay, now let's go ahead and test this. All right, let's go ahead and select this. Let's go. So what we're doing now is we're going to run an emulator here on Android. It's Pixel 9 Pro, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so here it's running the Flutter. Down there, it's running the Dart file. That's what we're running, the main.dart. So, and then the last one that we're going to run is an iOS emulator. Which will be right here, this iPhone 16e. We might as well get that booted up, get that ready. Okay. So it's loading here on Android, hopefully. As you can see, it says main.dart, Pixel 9 Pro. And so at this point, we are in Android Studio, run the emulation. I don't see it. Let's go look. There it is. Here we go. It was running in the background. Okay, so let's do a new task. Let's say test Android. Oh, that was nice. It fixed itself on the type ahead. Okay, add a note. Notes right there. Let's see if the due date works this time. So choose OK. All right, we'll choose 7:55 a.m. Once again, I don't think that worked. Choose that. Yeah. Date and time's not working. Everything else seems to be working fine. Subtask there. Okay, test. We got a subtask. Okay, let's go ahead and create the task. And there we go, voila. Let's check that as complete. Go to our task manager, another new task. Okay, last one to test on is right back here in Android Studio. Let's close this emulator. Okay, and now we want to hit the down arrow. We want to test on an iPhone 16e. Okay, there it is. We're going to build it here. And once again, all this took, what did it take? About less than 5 minutes to code. So a few buggy things that I may have done wrong. Because like I said earlier, this is only like the second time I've used this. Was I opened the project in Antigravity, right? And right here with the to-do list workspaces. So, but maybe I had something wrong here where it was on my other workspace. Maybe I have to close that. Close folder. So I don't know. I'll tell you in a future video. I'm going to say allow. Let's go. Oh, there we go. That's ready. Test. Those of you watching at home, when you've got a new program that you want me to build, let me know and I'll test it out. We'll see if due date works for iOS. I doubt it. Okay, here we go. There we go. Doesn't work. Okay. So we'll give it low priority this time. Add a step. Test. Great task. And there we go. Voila. It's got a nice colorful background there that's created. So, well, I'll do some more digging on this. In my next video, I'll kind of explain what I did wrong, because obviously I did something wrong. And I don't know if it's because I didn't close my workspaces right? Because I did open the project and we were working in the agent mode inside the to-do list too, but it built it in Antigravity. So I'll do some digging on that. If you guys got any questions and if you want to see more of stuff like this, let me know. Anyhow, like and subscribe, down below. Ask any comments. I'll get back with you guys. So, all right. I plan on doing some more cursor work next week. And I plan on doing some cursor videos and some more of these anti-gravity videos. Hopefully I get a little bit better at this. But once again, it's my only second time, which is pretty amazing that it can still write these programs. So, all right. If you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye.